This Pitch Breakfast video is brought to you by Spangler and Agins.
So, are you tuned into the buzz around local food? From cooking competitions to farm dinners to craft breweries popping up all over the place, Charlotte's developing quite a food culture. But access to local food continues to be a challenge, not just for people in food deserts and underserved communities, but for people like you and me and restaurants and retailers. That's an economic issue because for every dollar we spend on local food, more than 70 cents stays here in the local economy. And it's not just access to food. Potential food entrepreneurs need commercial kitchen space, which is scarce. And if you notice that there's a lack of appealing event venues for large events, in my opinion, Charlotte is the land of opportunity. My name is Lynn Shanklin Caldwell, and I have a plan for a food innovation district to catalyze those kinds of businesses. The plan's coming together in a location in the west end of Charlotte that will create jobs, encourage economic development, and establish a destination. There's a feasibility study underway that will provide the data to support the strategic plan, but through my experience developing the Atherton market, I can tell you we're right on target. After my opportunity to pitch Queen City Ford's Innovation Challenge in the fall, businesses have begun to emerge to address things like aggregation and distribution for farm goods, education around urban farming, and even retail operations. But the business that I think will operate at the heart of the Innovation District is a shared commercial kitchen. But it's more than a kitchen. It's an incubator and an accelerator for food businesses. And while I'm working on the whole plan, I'm really focused on establishing that incubator. I recently had the opportunity to go to DC and spend time learning from two of the most successful incubators in the country, Union Kitchen and Mess Hall. They provide their members more than kitchen space. They offer them mentoring around things like recipe development, financial management, branding, and marketing. And get this, Union Kitchen, through multiple revenue streams, earned more than $40 million in revenue last year, their third year in operation. I cannot imagine a more successful proof of concept. So my opportunity right here in Charlotte is to partner with Greg Papanastis and Argos Real Estate Advisors on a project that they're working on in the west end of Charlotte at Savona Mill. I'll have the opportunity to build out the culinary incubator there, as well as that premier event space. And with more than 180,000 square feet at that mill, you can bet that some of the other Innovation District business concepts will be building out right alongside us. Greg is well known in the community for doing considerate development projects with attention and focus to revitalization as well as sustainability. So my business plan has a two-pronged approach. The for-profit entity needs funding to build out the commercial kitchen as well as office and meeting space and that premier event facility. We anticipate development cost to be around $2.4 million before tenant improvements, which could approach the $3 million mark. The nonprofit entity needs funding for a very special function, community development. I want to be able to offer sponsorship and subsidies to businesses in the underserved community to bootstrap their startups, but we can't do it without the kitchen facility. So ultimately, we need you as investors, as partners, to help us tell our story. Your investment in the Innovation District and the Culinary Incubator is an investment in the future of our food and our food entrepreneurs. It's about community resilience. Together, we can continue to evolve the food culture in Charlotte. I'm hungry for that food revolution. My question for you is, are you hungry for it too? Contact me, let's connect, and figure out how we move this forward together. Thank you.
All right, panelists.
Forget my too much coffee shaking.
Tell me a little bit more about the $40 million number from Union Square?
From Union Kitchen.
Union Kitchen. How did they do that in year 3?
They did it through membership fees. Most commercial kitchens charge an hourly rate for people to come in and do what they're going to do. But they have invented a new model, which is a membership model. They charge their anchor members, I think they just raised it to $1,295 a month, but that gives them unlimited access to kitchen space. It means that they have a steady revenue stream, and they have the opportunity then to also provide those consulting services. They also have a delivery service, so they do distribution for their members. And most recently, they opened a retail store, which more than half of what's offered in their retail store are the products that are produced by the members in their kitchens. They just last week opened a second facility that is 16,000 square feet of kitchen space and event space as well. The two guys that started Union Kitchen are young, aggressive, and brilliant. And so I'm looking for some partners that have those qualities too. I've got the young and the aggressive.
So where does Johnson & Wales fit in any of this?
I've had some great conversations with Johnson & Wales. Jeff Thomas is very interested. I was talking to Mary Guin before presentations about the fact that there's no step for Johnson & Wales students once they graduate from Johnson & Wales, unless they have the capital to start a business. Finding commercial kitchen space is a huge challenge. They can go work for somebody else, but they often don't want to. So this will be an opportunity to partner with them, not only to give their students potential internships as mentors. If we start offering co-packing operations, which means you have a business, you have a great product, but you don't have the time to produce it yourself, we can produce it and package it and label it for you. Just a lot of opportunities there to partner with Johnson & Wales.
You probably could speak to that, right? Yeah. So what are you trying, I was a little confused. So there's $2.4 million in development costs, and then you're trying to raise separate money for...
I would not raise the money for tenant improvements. I would be looking for the money for the development costs. The developer, Argos, will be responsible for, the mill building is right now just an empty, it's like a big, beautiful warehouse. There would be a lot of tenant improvements that would need to take place, just bringing electricity to the building, bringing services to the building, doing just some basic roof replacement, things like that, that he would want to be responsible for to be able to take advantage of tax credits and those kinds of things.
I did circle good logo, so I just wanted to let you know that before anyone said anything. So this facility that you've identified is 180,000 square feet.
Yes.
How does that compare to the mess hall and Union Kitchen, just to give me some idea of the scope of...
Much larger. Union Kitchen's original space was 27,000 square feet. They have about 15,000 of that built out in kitchen space, and then they have storage, they have training space where they do some cooking classes and things like that.
So
mess hall is 20,000 square feet.
Okay, so my advice, because I talk to a ton of startups every week, there was a big disconnect between, there was no, this is who we are, this is the problem I'm trying to solve, and this is how I'm going to solve it in terms of, I would have liked to have seen the different revenue streams that the for-profit side would be generating. It just seemed like you went to the ask without the facts in the middle.
And is the ask a donation, an investment? What is the ask?
The ask is an investment. Well, it will be an investment for the for-profit entity. The nonprofit entity would be looking for grants and sponsorship.
It's confusing when you try to pitch both. I've watched this time and time again. When you try to pitch a for-profit and a nonprofit together,
right,
it confuses everyone. So I don't know what to tell you about that, but either pitch one only.
Some of the intention there is to show that this is a viable, sustainable business with a revenue model. But I also, particularly considering the area of town that we're looking to develop in and partner in, we want to be a community partner. And I think that's a really important part of our mission and our vision, is to make sure that we're not going into an underserved area of town and charging South Park prices for our services and offering opportunity.
So one suggestion to build on Terry's comment, just a simple graphic. If there's two different entities, put them up there and bullet point what each of them are doing and how they're different, just because it is a confusing point, and the clearer you can make it.
Well, can I back it up?
If you had it in there, I missed it.
This was the for-profit is infrastructure management, anchor tenants and the revenue streams, and the nonprofit is community development, creating jobs and opportunity, subsidies for startups, and the intersection is creating a destination, jobs and economic development.
So a really small presentation point, but it happens all the time. I have bad eyes, but I'm only 10 feet away and I still can't read that.
I can't read that either.
Yeah, so that's why I missed it, is I just couldn't read it.
Get Rachel to help you with
Good
that
to know.
slide.
Yes.
Is she?
Yes, ma'am. I will be happy to
Lynn,
do that.
what's your background? I'm always fascinated by the founders themselves. I thought you said Atherton Mills.
Atherton Market is my most recent project. For several years before that, I ran tailgate markets that I used as a platform to talk to people about local food. Before that, I was in the technology industry. I spent 9 years as an FTE at Microsoft, and 3 years after that as a contractor in the Press Pass Group. And before that, I was in human resources, and I've always been that person that ate organic when organic was a really marginal hippie thing to do, and now it's extremely mainstream. I won't tell you how old I am,
Okay.
but anything else?
Okay, audience, we got time for one or two questions. Yes, stand up, please.
Where is it?
The Savannah Mill is in the West End. It's at State and Turner Street. It is, an interesting feature is that the Stewart Creek Greenway that was most recently opened between Cedar Street and the West End dead ends right into the back door of the building. Argos has signed their first lease with Blue Blaze Brewery that'll be opening in the spring. And we're also working on the Lakewood Trolley project. So that was, I wondered if anybody would ask why the trolley was in the picture. It's because we are trying to keep Car 85 here in Charlotte and create some momentum around running that trolley on the line from Cedar Street to the back door of the mill. So if anybody's passionate about trolleys, talk to me about that too.
Yes.
So let's say I'm a recent graduate of Johnson & Wales. I just don't want to go work for somebody, but I want to come spend $1,200 a month to the primary shore facility. What is my return outside of being able to come there and cook stuff? You know, I'm not a chef. I made chips and cheese last night for my kids. But they're fantastic. So what is my return? What do I get from my monthly investment? How can I capitalize on that $1,200 a month and create a revenue stream for myself?
Well, first of all, you get access to a kitchen that you're not responsible for maintenance on the equipment. You're not responsible for any other overhead. You have access to office space. You have access to professionals that can help you build your brand, that can help you develop your product, that can get you into product channels, that can help you think through marketing, and that's all included in your membership fee. Those aren't additional fees. And potentially also, as we would offer an associate membership, which would not give you access to a kitchen yet, but would give you access to the consulting services as you were thinking through a business plan. Because I can tell you at the market, I get so many people have approached me to say, I have a great idea for a food business. What do I do? Who regulates me? Where do I start? And that's what really made me feel like this was what I need to focus on.
Yeah, I would incorporate that into there. So you're telling the stories to folks that you're looking to attract. Here's my target, and this is their value, and that you make it that way. That's telling the stories. A lot of people love to cook at home, but what could I do with this fantastic soup that I make?
Thank you.
I have one thing to add on to your question, probably one of the biggest hurdles is I can't make bread at home and go sell it to the market because of food regulations. So having a commercial kitchen space through a partnership or paying allows you to legally sell that bread and kind of start your business. That's probably the biggest hurdle, I would say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Caldwell.